Hello, hello, hello. Give me just a few minutes. Give everybody a chance to get on. I'm kind of early, but I want to get everything set up. Just a few minutes. Oops. We're going to share in the group. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grab me a drink real quick. I'm kind of hot. I've got another project going on today, so I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But we are going to get this bag done. I've been playing with these candy wrapper bags. I was wanting to do one so bad, and I'm not a pro at this one either, by the way. Just, using the candy wrappers or potato chip bags or whatever. I've only done a few of them, but I mean, the quilted bag design can be done in fabric too, which, we've done that here, and that's just, your basic top zip quilted bag. It's very cute. It can be lined. And the back is quilted as well. And this particular design is perfect for using with the candy wrappers. Now, the only thing with the candy wrappers is prepping them to make them sewable, to use them as fabric. So we will get into that in just a few minutes, but I want to give everybody a chance to get on. Yeah, that's a good idea. Move somewhere where there's good internet. That should be #1 on your house hunting list. It would be for me, for sure. So that kind of just gives you an idea of what we're working on, but I will show you again. I just want to have a little chat time before we get started. I've got my file loaded. I've got my bag prepped. I will show y'all what I used and how to do that. But it does need to cool. After it gets pressed, it's really hot and floppy, so you've got to let it cool just a little bit. So I wanted to go ahead and get mine prepped beforehand. Oh, I understood what you meant. Anywho, so are y'all ready to get started? We've got about 10 people in here already. I see everybody. Michelle, hello. You are here all the time, and I'm so happy to see you. TK, nice to see you. To getting the wrinkles out of vinyl. Yeah, you can press it with a warm iron and a press cloth. Just put a piece of fabric over the top of it so your iron doesn't melt it, is what I do. But you can also use a hair dryer too. Yep. Hi, Roxy. Hi, Tammy. I see you. You're here. Hi, Kia. I'm glad you got to join us live. All right. Y'all ready to get into this? I think I've got my lighting good today. I've already got my machine light covered. So that should be good for you. Thunderstorms coming in. Oh man, it's sunny and hot here already, and it's only 10 o'clock. Okay, so this is what we're going to be making today. This is my top zip quilted bag from Embroidery Playground.me. It has a little bit of decorative stitching here across the top. It's got a top zipper. This one is lined. It's quilted on the front and the back. I made this one using a candy wrapper. And this is the same design. And I've used it just using regular fabric. You can also use vinyl if you choose. But I don't know why you would want to quilt vinyl other than the look, but I use fabric. And I will be using a candy wrapper, actually a potato chip bag wrapper today. And I have went ahead and got it prepped with my vinyl fuse. This is what I used for my bag. I took the candy wrapper and I just cut it open and cleaned it really well. Or, I keep saying candy wrapper, and that's probably what I'm going to keep saying, but it's a potato chip bag. And I cut a piece of this vinyl fuse the same size as my bag. It is fusible, machine safe, it's clear. It looks like this when it comes off the roll. There's paper on this side, and it's kind of a dull color, and then this side is shiny, and you can clearly tell that that's where the vinyl is. So you cut it down to the size you need. You cut it down to the size that you need, and this is the scrap I had from earlier. And then peel off the vinyl. And the side that the paper is on is sticky. So you'll peel that all the way off, and it's not really sticky, it's just lightly sticky. And you'll put it sticky side down onto your candy bag or potato chip bag or whatever. And you'll just place it right on top of your wrapper and then press it with the iron. Follow the directions on the vinyl fuse for time and temperature pressing for that. It says to use a dry iron on a medium setting, and it does not take long. It only takes about 4 to 5 seconds, literally, really quickly. I used my Easy Press, my Cricut Easy Press, and I set the temperature at 305 and just pressed it for 5 seconds, and it was done. Like, that's literally all you have to do. So I pressed my bag as a full sheet. I just cut it down one seam where it was wide open, and then put my vinyl fuse on top in that whole big sheet, and then I cut my 2 pieces out of it. I'll be making the 5x5 size bag today, so I cut my pieces in 6x6 sizes. I just followed the measurements that you would normally use for fabric. Okay, Tammy, that's a good tip. I haven't actually quilted vinyl. I just haven't had a need to quilt any vinyl. So that is a good tip. If you do use vinyl, she recommends using water-soluble stabilizer on top of it. Let's see. Hi, Dee. Nice to have you. First time live. That's great. Hi, Susan. Uh-oh. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to flip it around. I was scrolling through the comments. Okay. So do y'all kind of understand the bag process? You'll see what I mean by getting your bag prepped. We're just basically turning it from a piece of, terrible potato chip bag into a piece that is made more like vinyl or fabric. That way it can actually be stitched. It makes it really secure. I'm sure if I wanted to rip this, I could, but it does feel, you know, a lot stronger than what it was to begin with. Oh, my ribbons. Thanks. That was a chain that is used. It was a kid's thing. Like, you hang it, and then it has little clips that you can hang stuffed animals down the chain. So I just kind of modified that and put some little dowel rods across it, and ta-da, now it's my ribbon holder. Hi Donna, we're just now getting started, so you haven't missed a whole lot. Just how we prep the bags with the vinyl fuse. I did find this vinyl fuse at Joann's. It was on the aisle where the irons are. There was different ones. It was in a big roll just like this. You can get it in glossy and matte, and I chose to get the clear glossy. So y'all good? You understand so far? Because that's basically all there is to making, you know, the potato chip bag part of it, or candy wrapper, is just using the vinyl fuse. You just put it on it, press it for about 5 seconds, and it's ready to sew. No, I only put the vinyl on the one side. My bag will be, the clear vinyl fuse is only on the top, the front pretty side of the potato chip bag. I will be using batting and lining fabric, so it will sandwich it all together and make it even more secure. So it looks like this. This is the outside of the other one that I did, or one of the other ones I did. And that's the inside. So the inside does have a lining. I used a gray lining, and that's my white bobbin that you can see in there. I actually quilted with white thread too, so. That's great, Marcia. I'm glad you're learning something. I hope to be of help. So are y'all kind of got that under control? Any questions on prepping your bag? And the fabric, for using this design with fabric, you would just do it just like normal, and you will see. I don't prep my fabric in any certain way other than pressing it just to make it crisp and wrinkle free. Okay, good. I'm glad. I think y'all are with me. So we're going to go ahead and turn around to the machine. I do have my file loaded already. And this bag is quilted on the back as well as the front. So it is done in 2 hoopings. So we're going to quilt the back panel first, and then take that off the machine, and we will have that to use for the bag itself. So my first step will be stitching a placement stitch so I can see where to place my fabric. Okay, so that's my placement for my back portion. This is the backing file that I'm using first. So I'm going to spray just a little bit of basting spray on the back of my hoop, and I'm going to put my lining fabric on the back of the hoop, on the bottom of the hoop, I should say. So it's on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down on the machine so it doesn't move. And I will be using, I'm going to be using felt as my batting for this particular bag. So I'm just going to lay my batting down and then put my backing right side up on top of the hoop. And I'm just going to kind of line it up as best I can to the fussy cut part of it, so I have the logo that I want to be showing in there. And I think that is pretty good. I kind of already cut it to how I want it to begin with, so I think I'm good. Oh, if you threw the back away to the bag, just use a regular piece of fabric maybe, and then you would just have a cute front and then a plain back, you know, a solid color maybe. If I were to do that with this one, I would probably, for this particular bag, I would probably use a red back and then my potato chip bag for the front, and I think that would still look really cute. So I've got my materials down, and now I'm stitching the next step for the backing, which is the tack down and quilting. I'm using my standard 7511 needle. Hi Kimberly, nice to see you joining us. Thanks Donna, I love having you. Thank you, Kia. Hi, Corey. I am using the top zip quilted bag design. It's available at embroideryplayground.me. I just released it yesterday, and it is still at intro pricing until this afternoon. Okay, so we've got our backing quilted, and it's quilted all the way through. I'm using red thread today, and I just left my batting, or my bobbin, as white, so that's why my inside looks like that. I didn't match my bobbin, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna set my backing aside. I'm not gonna trim it or anything. I'll just tear the stabilizer away and set it aside for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to a new hoop, and the first step is the placement, which will be the entire bag, the entire outline of the bag, and the placement for the zipper. So now I am using the main bag file. So we've got our bag outline done, and this is our zipper placement. And what we'll do is place our zipper with the zipper teeth right in the center of that line, of between these two lines, the very top and then this little line here. So our zipper will go with the pull to the left, just like that. And I just kind of hold mine in place with my fingers safely out of the way. But if you are more safety conscious than I am, by all means, use a piece of tape and tape it down. Okay, I've got my zipper lined up right in the teeth. I'm going to go ahead and stitch the tack down while I kind of hold it in place. I'm not familiar with fast frames, but I don't see why you would not be able to. Okay, I've got my zipper tacked down. It's stitched right across the top, jumped down, and stitched across the bottom. And now I will be putting my piece of lining fabric on the back of the hoop. I'm going to go ahead and tape this in place, and then I'll show you. The way I explain it in the directions might be very complicating to some people, which is why I've started doing these videos, because I am not great at writing directions. So this is the back of my hoop, and this is my lining fabric. I have lined up the raw edge of the lining with the bottom of the zipper. The right side will be facing the hoop, and this is the wrong side, so it's hanging up towards the top of the hoop. Because all we're going to stitch right now is this one little line right across here, and then we're going to flip this lining down into place. So I'm going to put the hoop back on the machine, and we're going to do the same thing with our prepped bag as well as our other fabric. So that'll be used, if you were using fabric, you would do the same thing. It goes right side down, hanging up towards the top of the hoop. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and stitch the tack down for that, and I've got it lined up there. So we're going to stitch the tack down, which will be just a single line straight across the bottom of the zipper to hold both of those fabrics in place. See how that's tacked down? It just did a straight line across, and then the back is also just a straight line. So I'm going to take that tape off that I used to hold it in place. I don't want that left in there. And I'm going to pull my lining fabric down, and I am going to spray it just a little bit with basting spray to help hold it down for my own benefit. And I'll put it back on the machine because it's just easier to keep everything straight that way. And I'm getting my batting. And then I will stick my piece of batting. In this case, I'm using felt, like I said before, at the bottom section of the hoop. Just like that. So my batting is here, and then I'm going to fold my fabric down over the top of it. Y'all with me? Yes, this bag design comes in 4x4, 5x5, and 6x6. Okay, I've got my lining down under the hoop, secured in place. I've got my batting and my top fabric. And now I'm going to go ahead and stitch the tack down and quilting that will hold all that in place. I'm just going to kind of keep a hand on it until it gets all the way around, and then I can let go. Okay, so that was the decorative stitching across the top of the fabric, and then now it's doing the quilting. And all of that is in one step. Hi Sherry. No, I only had to use vinyl fuse for the front, the right side of the bag. And then I use batting and lining fabric for the inside. You're welcome. Michelle, did your question about batting get answered? Did you understand what? I'm not sure what you were confused about. Hi Dee Dee. Hi Kimberly. I have a show coming up, and I've only got a couple of these bags like this to sell, but so I don't know how they're gonna do. But you didn't have any luck selling them. We'll see how they turn out for me, and I'll let you know. Hi Carolyn from Tennessee. I am also from Tennessee. I'm in Middle Tennessee, just south of Murfreesboro. Michelle, okay, I'm glad your question got answered. I didn't get why you put it on after attaching the zipper to the top. Oh, because the batting doesn't need to be folded back down. I think that's what you mean. I just needed to put the lining and the fabric on, and then attach those, and then when I fold them down, I just needed the batting under those two. Oh, okay. I understand, Kimberly. Alright, so we've got our quilting done. This is the front side. This is the back. And I'm going to open my zipper to the midway. Just past midway, actually. Just like that. And I put little tabs with D-rings on the sides of my bags at this step. So if you wanted to do that, you would do so now before you put the backing on. I use a little piece of ribbon, and I run one little single stitch across it with the D-ring on there to help hold it together. That way it doesn't want to pop open. And it also gives me a guideline to line up that single stitch line with the line on my bag. And so I'll just tape that in place right there. And now I'm going to put my backing panel that we made. I'll put that right on top of the hoop with the right side facing down, the lining up. okay? And you will line up your quilting outline on the bag with the quilting outline on the back panel. That way you can make sure that you get it lined up just right. I just line up my two little bottom corners, and if I've got the corners both lined up, then it's usually pretty square. So I just lay it on just like that. Yes, okay, this design is currently listed, and it is still at intro pricing as of right now. Stacy, the potato chip bag did not get ripped by the needle because I prepped it with vinyl fuse first. You might have just joined us, but I did show that that material that I used at the beginning of this video. So when you get done watching today, or get done watching the live, you can go back and watch the beginning where it shows the stuff that I used. So I've got my back panel lined up, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch the final tack down for the backing. I do have my zipper open and my little tab is in place. Y'all, can you believe that we have 60 people watching right now? I think this is the highest audience that I've had on a live video yet. That's awesome. I'm glad to see every one of y'all. I know, Mary, that's what I thought when I saw the number up there. That's awesome. Thank you, Michelle. You think that's why they're here? They heard about how awesome I am? Oh, Marcia, that's great. I'm glad to have you join us. And our backing is stitched down. We're going to turn back around here to the table. Cover your eyes. Does that make anybody dizzy? I'm sorry that I have to do that, but I hope it doesn't bother anybody that it gets when I spin the camera around like that. Oh, darn, Corey. Sorry, I did not put the link. I was going to also, and I'm so sorry I didn't. It's embroideryplayground.me, but I will go grab the link really fast and pin it in the comments. I always forget that. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my stabilizer. Oh, Dee, that's so sweet. Thank you. I've heard that before, too. Everybody likes listening to my accent. Alright, I'm just grabbing my link, so I'm kind of preoccupied, sorry. Copy, go over here, let's paste it in the comments, paste, and there you go. Oh, thank you, Tammy, for grabbing that link faster than I could. If I would have seen that, then I wouldn't have even bothered. I should have known you'd get it for me, though. Alright, so I'm just cleaning up all my stabilizer out of the zipper path and from around the outside edge. And trimming up any little tails I might have. So this is what it looks like when you first get done stitching it. This is inside out still. So this is my lining. This will be the front and this is the back. But this is the inside of my bag. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up all my excess. I go right across the top of the zipper. I don't cut into my zipper tape, except on the sides. And I just cut right down the side, about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch from my outer seam. I do use a more secure stitch for that final backing. So even if you cut it pretty close and tug and pull, you should be pretty safe from not pulling those stitches out. And I do have rounded corners on the tops and the bottoms. So it won't be so bulky on the corners when you turn it right side out. So I've got it cleaned up and all my excess trimmed off. Now I'm going to reach inside my zipper and open it the rest of the way up so I can turn it right side out. And it is kind of stiff, just like when you're working with a stiffer vinyl. Just gotta work with it a little bit. It's the sticky vinyl that makes it so stiff. When you use regular fabric, it's not as bad, but I mean, it still turns out just fine. Just takes a little bit more elbow grease. I did put vinyl fuse on the back panel as well. I put the vinyl fuse on my entire potato chip bag, and then I cut it into 2 pieces so I could use one for the front and one for the backing. And the back panel was also quilted. Is also quilted too. It was done in a hoop by itself, and then we take it out and use it for the backing on the main bag. I can't get a hold of my zipper to close it. There we go. just want to get it pushed down into place and everything. There we go. So there's our bag. And you can see the shiny because I used the glossy, so you can see that it is got vinyl fuse on the front and the back, and it's quilted on the front and the back. I've got my little tab, and that's the inside. They're really pretty simple, y'all. They really are. My hardest part was figuring out the vinyl fuse, but once I did it, it's no trouble at all. You just press that stuff on in literally 5 seconds. It does not take but just 5 seconds to adhere it to your candy bag or potato chip bag. This is the vinyl fuse that I used. I used the clear glossy. I found this roll at Joann's. Oh, and I'm trying to think of how much it was. I want to say this roll was about $10. And it is a 15-inch by 2-yard roll. And I feel like I still have a bunch left, but I've already used it for a few bags. So, but I think it was about $10. Yes, I'll leave the seams raw on the inside of this particular bag. And I found this one at Joann's. And I'm sure they have it at Hobby Lobby. Probably on Amazon. I'll check on Amazon and put a link to it in my favorite things blog post also after this video. Yes, a lot of my bags, I leave the seams raw inside. Some of them I do include a regular lined bag version that would require you turning out through the little hole and hand closing that little hole. But I honestly don't like doing that too much. So not all of my bags have that particular feature for that hand closure, but some of them do, and I do list that in the description of those particular bags. So when you're looking on the site, you will see if it says lined, that would be the ones with that type of closure. Walmart has some too. Okay, Kimberly, I did look at my Walmart, and they did not have this kind. They had other stuff that was in big rolls like this, the craft fuse, but they didn't have the clear vinyl fuse. But my Walmart's kind of small and not great, so. You're welcome, Christina. Thank you, Roxy. A coin wallet? Huh. I'm not sure I've seen those, Stacy. Does this particular bag look complicated to you? Maybe you could try this one and it'd be a little easier for you. Okay, well, Tammy, maybe my store is just no good. I just we don't have much of anything at our Walmart as far as craft and fabric type stuff. I hope so, Stacy. I hope the video helps you. I know my written instructions, I know, aren't great, y'all. And that's the area where I struggle the very most. So that's why I try to do the videos for all of the designs that need instructions. But maybe this one will help, and it will be a little easier for you than that coin wallet. I'm not sure what design that is. But anywho, so do y'all think you got it? Y'all think you can do it? Yep, this would be how they use vinyl fuse to coat their bag and then use it just like fabric. And I honestly, I thought it was so complicated, and I never knew, you know, I didn't really know how to do it either. And I just got to playing with it and finally figured it out and was like, oh, well, there's nothing to it. It's super easy. You just iron the vinyl on your bag, iron that vinyl fuse right onto the candy wrapper or potato chip bag, and that's it. Yeah, Michelle, I have too. I had this bag cut up laying over here on my table, and I keep thinking that I've just got trash laying around. But I was like, I know that it's there for a reason. I was afraid my husband was going to throw it away for me. The quilt design is all over the bag. I don't think that you have to. I think it holds up more securely if you do. But I honestly don't think that you absolutely have to. I think you could just do a tack down and it would hold it just fine. Just like your regular vinyl bags. I just wanted this quilt bag for other fabrics as well. A lot of people like these little bags quilted, and they're really soft. Mary, I do have larger quilt bags already. They're already listed. If you just search, and actually I have one that is the diamond quilted bag that has the fully lined method. So it has the regular stitch that goes all the way around the outside, and then it also has a lined file that includes, that has the little opening at the bottom, so you can make it fully lined with no exposed seam on the inside. Yep, that's the ones that I released the last couple weeks. I've been on this quilted bag kick, so I've done a couple other ones already, and then this I think is going to be my last one for a little while. I'm working on something else now, so stay tuned for next week for that newest bag. But yeah, this is just the smaller little coin size. This one is 5x5, so it is included with 4x4, 5x5, and 6x6 for this top zip one. So there is one just a little bit smaller and one just a little bit bigger. This is the mid size. Oh, I was missing some comments. Not sure what that link is that my mom posted. Oh, it was a link to the vinyl fuse at Walmart. Okay, thank you for posting that link. Clear matte. That's the link to the matte one, and it is $11.10 on Walmart.com. Oh, using a photo? Ooh, I don't know. If that would work, or how it would work. Oh, no, it's fine. You don't have to shut up. No, I just didn't know what that link was for. If you had said you was going to get it, I might have missed it. I'm not sure. But no, that's great. Thank you for posting that link. That's all good. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. As far as the photo instead, you know what you could also do? Let's see. That's not it. I have these, and I actually have not used this yet for a bag, but this inkjet transfer paper, you could print your photo right onto this and then iron it on your fabric. So if you use like a plain white fabric and print your photo onto transfer paper and then iron it on your bag or on your fabric and use that fabric for the bag. So that would probably work. And I've got this, and I had just used a little piece for something else a long time ago, and I've had this pack, and I've been wanting to do it for photos for something like that also. I just haven't got around to trying it yet. They have fabric transfers also? Okay. Yeah, this stuff that I've got might not even be the right thing. It worked for the thing that I was using it for, which was to put wording on a little piece of material. So I guess that would be the same way if you just did it on, you know, just printed the picture and then ironed it on your plain fabric. I don't see why that wouldn't work. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. That's a great idea, though. To make one with your mom's picture. That would be really cute. And in that case, if you used fabric, if you didn't want to do the quilting so it didn't, you know, cover up the whole picture, I do have a couple other bags as well that, you know, you can use a top zip so it doesn't have that, you know, that zipper running right through your picture. There's some other top zip bags as well, but you can do this one and then, you know, just do it with the quilting if you wanted to. I used a printable fabric like that and used it in a quilt. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't tried it, and I've actually got a big project I'm going to be working on today, in changing this room around and bringing in a countertop that I just got. So I've got to do that, but I do want to play with that material soon, and that might give me a little bit of incentive to get that done. But alright, well, this has been a great video for the candy potato chip wrapper bags with the top zip quilted bag. And I'm going to go ahead and get off of here for this video, but I will be starting right back with my next video. We will be making the card slot applique to add to your bag file. So this file was also released this week. It is an add-on for any of your larger bags. So I'm going to stop this video and then restart with another one. That way it can be in 2 separate videos. And I hope you guys join me for that. And I will see you again in just a few minutes. Oh, I'm going to read these comments real fast. Put wedding pictures in the quilt. That's awesome. Thinking the photo with the vinyl fuse over it. That may work. Even if you were to put the photo on fabric, you still might want to put vinyl fuse over it to kind of help protect it. That is a good idea. If you can do a picture on a t-shirt material, parchment paper over the design. Oh, okay. These are all some really good tips, y'all. Awesome tips. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other video, and I will see you guys in a little while. Bye.